Slow and Steady, the podcast where you get to follow along as we build products in public. Each week, we'll give you an honest peek into our lives as we share our struggles, our wins, and everything in between. I'm Benedikt. I'm feeling sick and sick of it.
And I'm Benedikt. Today is February 21st. This is episode number 171, and I'm feeling excited because I'm going.
So I'm guessing
to
you
a
haven't
concert.
gotten the cold that everyone has.
No, I'm getting it tonight.
Because you're going to a concert, is that what you said?
Yes, that's what I said.
I'm jealous. For what?
It's the first time since the pandemic. So I think almost exactly 3 years. I think my last concert was something February 2020. I haven't been to a concert since, so I'm excited.
Yeah, which one is it? What are you watching?
It's Ville Valo of previously him with a solo tour. So yeah, looking forward to it.
That does sound exciting. I am just, I don't know. I don't really feel sick anymore, but the energy levels are just freaking low. And yesterday, because school is out because it's the winter holidays in Oslo. Fun fact, in Norway, they spread it out. So every county, not every county, but the counties are spread out over 3 weeks so that the holiday homes or like the vacation rent, like the cabins in the mountains, they have like 3 weeks where they can rent out the cabins instead of just 1 week. But anyway, Oslo is this week. And yesterday we were like, oh, we should do something nice. It was like sunny. It was beautiful. I was feeling like a little sick, but but I thought maybe, let's get out into nature, into the sun. It's going to be great. It was great. And we went on this like tiniest cross country ski trip, came back, totally crashed, and basically slept for the rest of the day, which is not what I had in mind.
But yeah, sometimes that's how it goes, right?
Yeah, but I feel like it's been like this for, I don't know, a week and a half. Like, what is this? And I'm talking to people. I have like this Discord channel server, accountability something. And like everybody is checking in with like this cold. And somebody said like everyone on my remote team has a cold. And it's like, it's not people in the same region. It's just everybody's having a cold.
So far, so good over here.
Okay, well, you're catching it now, like giving it to you now.
Probably, yeah.
Or maybe that concert. But anyway, is the concert the only thing you're excited about? Or
yeah, that's the thing. I'm excited about a couple of things, but primarily it's the concert because again, it's been a while, and I usually love going to concerts. But I totally unlearned my concert routine. Like previously, it was pretty clear. Like you have to get the tickets and the earplugs and like all of that. And now I'm like, what am I supposed to bring? Oh, tickets. Where did I put the tickets? Like stuff like that. Just not used to it anymore.
It's insane, like what you can unlearn, like things you just assume that it's just something but then you haven't done it for so long. You're just like, oh, there was a routine there. That's why it was easy. What was the routine? I can't remember really.
Exactly. I mean, it only dawned on me this morning while talking to someone that I actually have to find the tickets. I was like, yeah, we just show up and they let us in, of course, right? So luckily, I remember to search for the tickets and I found them. And now I don't have to forget taking them, but other than that, we're hopefully okay.
Well, yeah, I keep forgetting I need a passport to go to Sweden because you didn't used to need your passport, and now you do. And I think the last time we went, or when Ula and I went to Gothenburg, we rented a car and we forgot our passports. So we were just like, okay, crossing our fingers, crossing the borders, being like, And then when I went with Lillian just for, a weekend, I think it was last weekend or 2 weeks ago, I almost forgot them, but then I remembered and I had the time to run in and get them. And luckily so, because we were stopped on the border coming back from Sweden because we were on a bus. And sometimes when you're I've often been stopped more often when taking the bus than when just driving. So we were like kind of called in and everybody had to get out of the bus. And then we had to show our passports to get back on the bus. And I was like, oh my
Mm.
God, what if I had forgotten the passports? And especially like bringing Lillian, like I have other forms of ID that aren't really, the proper form of ID, but at least I have my driver's license and it's valid in Norway, but not in Sweden as a
Mhm.
form of ID. But like bringing this little, blonde and blue-eyed girl with me, it's kind of hard to be like, this is my child.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oh, I
luckily
remember.
we, yeah,
Yeah, go ahead. I
no, that
remember
was
a
it.
story from back I was in school where we did like a trip with the entire class to the Czech Republic and then Poland and then back. And we also got stopped at the border between Germany and the Czech Republic. Um, and they were checking passports, and actually one guy, he had his passport, but apparently there was something wrong with the visa, so he wasn't allowed to enter the country. So it was in the middle of the night, and they forced him to get out of the bus, stay at the border, and call someone to pick him up hours later, while the rest of us continued on. that was a that was a shitty experience for him. Yeah.
Oh, I've done
Anyways.
this too. I've done this too. Remind me while we're wrapping up so we don't spend the whole beginning of this episode talking about the horrors of visas and passports. But anyway,
Yeah.
what have you done? What have you done at work?
Yeah, like last week I was like, I'm too distracted. I'm not getting anything done. I somehow was able to overcome that, and we were able to ship a first version of the reporting, at least internally behind the feature flag on a separate branch, like yada yada yada, all of that. But we have a working version where it gets data from the server, and you can browse it and view it, and you have a chart and stuff like that. You can change the date range and the data updates and like all of that. So it's basically a working version, which needs a lot of polishing, but everything's working in it already. So that's exciting. Um, and as I said last week, once you have real world data in it, it suddenly changes how you look at it compared to the testing data. Um, So we already figured out a couple of things we wanted to change. For example, um, we wanted to show trends, but then realized that if you get data for like 1 month, what's the trend? Like, how do you calculate the trend? And the initial idea was, yeah, take the first day and the last day and compare the two. But that doesn't really make any sense if you think about it. So we settled on a new version where we fetch like 1 month, and then while fetching the data, we figure out what the previous period is. So we fetch that data as well, and then we can do sums of both to compare the two. Like this month was 10% better than the previous month, or something like that. Um, and
I feel like
if
that's how YouTube does it. Whatever period of time you choose, it compares it to the last period of time.
Yeah, probably. Once you start thinking about it, it's the thing that makes most sense. Because otherwise, yeah, like as I said, like comparing the first and the last day doesn't make any sense because there's fluctuations and suddenly your trend is going down, even though everything's going up. So yeah, we had to change that a little bit. And I figured it would be super complicated to get that data, but I once again found my love for a SQL, the query language, and I figured out a query that just joins itself on the same data set and then just like fetches the data for the previous period by taking the date and subtracting the length of the period, and that gives you the previous occurrence, obviously. But it hadn't occurred to me, so yeah, it's one query. It fetches all the data for the current month and the previous month, and then we just sum it up and show the trends. So it turned out to be pretty easy and pretty performant. And yeah, it's exciting. This feature is coming along nicely, and it's going so well that we um, basically got free resources, development resources on the
Mm.
front end part because it's almost done. So we are kicking out the graphing library, the charting library that we were using and kind of rolling our own on D3, um, which we initially said we won't be doing because it's too complicated and too much effort. But as we have like some time left and we didn't really like the library we picked initially, it's exciting that we can now build a chart that looks the way we want and works the way we want. So yeah, that's what's going on.
And that's probably going to be good moving forward, because then you will feel empowered to like make the graphs that you do want to make.
Yeah, and have it like behave the way we want it to behave. Because it's so easy to settle with a library that is not quite right. And honestly, with the
library, like, what can the library do? And then you have to look at the library and be like, oh, that graph looks good. Okay, let's put it into that graph format.
Yes, exactly. And the weird thing with the library we chose is that their documentation and their website looks different from the charts you get when you actually use the library. And we're not entirely sure why. It's a little bit weird. Maybe it's a
maybe you can add some styling
version or something. Yeah, you can't. Like, we tried that.
Well, that happens. Like, that is the worst when you go to a SaaS and it's got like this super beautiful website, and then you log in and you're like, what? This is nothing like your marketing site. Like, I think, like, even if you could make like a really beautiful marketing site, like, make it so that it at least
it has to match, right? It has to
like match a little bit. Like, it could be a little bit different because a marketing site and a tool will have differences. But when you make it look super cool and super smooth and you get in there and everything is like Windows 98 feel, you lose the trust, right? Because it feels a lot wrong, and you kind of just like, you get out of there pretty fast.
Yes.
I'm not going to name names, but I've used some of those.
We all know some examples, right?
Yes, we all know some examples. Not StreamYard. StreamYard is great.
Yes.
Well, that's a good. And also, I just wanted to say, as a user, please do not animate the graphs all the freaking time. It looks good the first time you load something, and then you're like moving between pages and it wants to animate again, and you just wanted to see, you're going back and you just wanted to see what you saw before, and then it kind of reloads the animation. You get pretty sick and tired of these fancy animations pretty fast.
We're probably keeping it low on the animations. There's one animation in the current implementation that I quite like, is when you change the date range and make it larger or smaller, like it looks like it's zooming in and out. And that's actually I feel like that's a nice animation.
Yeah.
And we're trying to keep that, but I agree. Like, I'm not a fan of like charts that keep growing from the bottom to the top and like taking a minute to build up before you can actually see the data.
You just want to see the data. And then especially if but I think this more happens maybe in React land, where things re-render and sometimes they mess up registering when a re-render really needs to happen. So kind of just scrolling down the page, it starts animation and then you scroll up again because you wanted to see something, and you scroll down again. It like reanimates itself from the zero state, and I just like things like that I can get really mad. Yes. I get really, but I get like, I don't know, I need to work on this, but I can get pretty annoyed.
Yeah. That and spinners that don't spin around the center point, right?
Yeah.
That's one thing that drives me insane. Of like, you have like a small spinner, circle or whatever that's spinning, and it's slightly wobbly. That drives me insane.
I mean, either make it wobbly on purpose, because there are some of those, that are a little bit wobbly on purpose, and also has like different where it like, it goes fast and it goes slow and then it goes fast and then it goes slow or something like that. Like, you can make it You could make it
Yeah.
intentional, but yeah, I hear you when it's just like, oh, we're just spinning this with some CSS, but it wasn't really centered. So yeah, no,
Yeah, and I know. I
definitely.
mean, I get it. It's it's not trivial, as trivial as it sounds, and there's rendering issues with different browsers and stuff. But it
Yeah.
always, when I see stuff like that, it always throws me off. Like whatever task I'm doing, and I just look at it and be like, ah.
But I'm wondering if people who are not in the industry, like who are not developers, if it annoys them as much. I think maybe the graph thing would, because it's actually taking away information that you
Yeah.
want. But, those little things, or little or big, like the spinner, I'm wondering if that is because we've fixed it so many times that we get annoyed that somebody will not, do it properly.
Maybe.
Or if kind of regular users, whatever a regular user is, if they're actually sitting and looking at these spinners being like, it's wobbly, it's wobbly.
I guess most people probably don't notice, and the ones that do don't care, I guess. I mean, in the end, it's very nitpicky, isn't it?
Yeah. But I think it
But
gives
yeah.
a sense, like that. I guess that's where, the whole debate about brand, like how much does branding mean, and can you really quantify, branding or that feeling of a brand? And I think it does deter from, even if you can't verbalize it, even if you're as a regular user, you can't say like, oh, the spinner was off, so I lose trust in this product. But I think if you have enough of those little things,
Hmm.
even if you can't, like, put the finger on like exactly what's wrong, you kind of get that sense that, this, should I really trust this product? Like, even if it's factually correct and all your features work really, really well, I still think users might lose a little bit of that trust when you have a lot of
Mm,
these like little
yeah.
idiosyncrasies. Is that a word? Is that the correct word? Anyway, yeah. But
I agree. Yeah, but it's also so easy to overlook the stuff over time. Like while you
mm,
work in your own product, you get kind of become blind to those problems a little bit, and then yeah, people get upset and you don't know why. Anyways, what's been going on with you?
uh, I mean, we have no answers when it comes to the Twitter API saga.
Still, yeah.
I saw that, I guess it was somebody in our Slack that said that FeedHive has now lost their access, which is a tool that I use, and they don't know anything about why. I haven't really checked my error logs, so we might have lost access. I should probably check the error logs. I haven't had any complaints yet, though. So we'll just like wait and see. I feel I don't want to do that much development work on Prune Your Follows until we know where we're at, because it feels like it's a little bit up in the air. They pushed back the date now to no date. Like, I think it was just, it's gonna
Yeah.
happen. We're gonna do these changes, but they're not really telling us anything about that. And kind of on a similar note, Netlify bought Gatsby, which is, the product or software framework that I'm an expert in. And we don't really know what's happening there either. Like, there was a big announcement, but I haven't seen much happening after that.
Hmm.
Specifically, I'm wondering, will the Gatsby blog be something that will be continued, or will it be merged into kind of Netlify marketing efforts? Should we, where should we pitch our ideas? Like, who do we talk to? Who's responsible? It's a little bit up in the air as well. So feeling that kind of just sitting and waiting for the something to fall down. What's the expression?
The
Yeah.
dust to settle. I don't know.
Yeah, the dust to settle, something like that. See what actually, see what will actually happen, not just what they said would happen, right? Um, so we are, and this also ties into work that we're doing for Cloudinary, because we've been maintaining the Cloudinary plugins, and we are now giving them a proposal to kind of write up a or not write up, but come up with a roadmap for the Cloudinary plugins. Like, what should the strategy be going forward? And that kind of ties in a little bit with the product from Gatsby called Valhalla, which is supposed to be a content hub where you source all your data into Valhalla, and then the data is served from there. And Cloudinary could be a plugin, or Cloudinary could be one of those things that you source into this hub, but it's still in closed beta. I was supposed to get access. The person that was giving me access no longer works for Gatsby. So I still haven't had any access to Valhalla, which is like an enterprise product. So we're trying to come up with a proposal where we, have to take these things into account. And then Ola and I got into this long discussion about what even is a roadmap, like what type of roadmap. It is a customer something roadmap or a feature roadmap or a what, and then it got all existential. But we're gonna get the proposal done today. It's nearly done. We'll get the proposal done today. And then coincidentally, we're also working with Colby from Cloudinary on a bug in their Node SDK tonight on a surprise stream, because today is Tuesday and we usually stream on Thursdays, but it's a vacation week, so we're going to be at the cabin with no electricity on Thursday, so there's not going to be a stream no matter if we wanted to or not. But then we found this because we were going to do like a little job of adding some analytics to the plugin so that Cloudinary can see like which of these plugins and integrations are actually being used in production over time. And we were going to add some to using the Cloudinary Node SDK. And we found a tiny bug in that. So we're going to fix that with Colby tonight so we can get the analytics changes into production and actually start seeing usage data, I guess, because that will play into the strategy. And also like what we will recommend. I mean, if we see that nobody's using these things anymore, like I'm not going to force people to make Gatsby plugins. Hopefully that will not happen though. But we'll see. So a lot of things up in the air. But I've made some articles. We've booked 5 out of 10 slots for our data modeling podcast. Pretty happy with that. Mostly Europeans. So I would like some recommendations for founders or technical founders or people who work for a startup on the technical side who has some experience with a data model over time. Because the purpose of this podcast that I will talk about, the journey of a data model and what did you do? What are you what choices are you happy with? How would you model it if you're going to model it again, and kind of discuss a little bit around that. So we would love to get some recommendations or introductions to possible guests from either like the African or Asian continent or Australian continent, I guess, because now we have Europe and then one from the US, but I feel like they're always overrepresented anyway. So anyway, like South American, I don't have much contacts in South America either. So I would guess any continent except Europe and the US, we need some recommendations for or introductions to. So if you have that, please reach out to me on Twitter, because that would be awesome to get some it's hard with these things. Like you have your network. It's so much easier to reach out to your network and force them to be a guest like you. It's like you got to be a no, just sorry. So yeah. But that's me. And then at the I'm making the spendings applications for the Norwegian Bank's web bank. And last week I got the code up and running. It's just taken days and days and days, but it's up and running and I can start making changes. So that's pretty cool.
That and feels also, like a pretty important step if you're working on on that product, right?
Yes. So that was a good step to get to. Right. So hopefully I'll be able to make some changes and like get some changes into production pretty fast, because I need that to kind of stay motivated, or not production, but into staging. I need that to kind of stay motivated. And then because of that, I now have like 3 Macs around me. I have so many Macs right now. There's Macs all over the place. But very happy with my MacBook Air M2 so far.
Very cool.
Yeah.
But I did join your unboxing video for a little bit, at least last week.
Yes.
That was fun.
It was very chaotic. I was alone with Lillian, and also I think it was fun though. But it was, trying to then set up a new computer and get that to stream while streaming. That was next level streaming, I would say.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
We did it. Anything else from you?
Nothing big and too important. So I guess that's it from me this week.